Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's me, Mitch, and the day before Thanksgiving. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch. And I got it right here. So if you got it, let's drink it. How you doing, everybody? Good to see you. Good to see you. How was that? Tried a new little opening there with me kind of facing the camera to the side. In pursuit of professional show business. Oh, that's good. Imagine, they say that today is like the biggest travel day of the year. So, I don't know how many people are watching YouTube when they travel, but we'll see. These holidays do have a way of disrupting the normal flow of everything. And may do the same here. 34 people are here. How you doing? How you doing? Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Again, I'm going to try to keep these to an hour. Seems to be working out pretty good. I have to get my talker working this morning. I haven't been talking yet today. Sometimes it's a little slower getting started than at other times. Yep, day before Thanksgiving, and everybody's got a sale. And I got this catalog in the mail yesterday from Sam's Club, and it says instant savings December 3rd to December 26th. Now, that's not Black Friday. That's next month. So these things aren't even in effect yet. So what am I supposed to do? Sam's Club marketing people. You've got Black Friday coming up. You got basically one of the biggest sales day of the years. And the day before all that monster spending starts, you send me this catalog and say, don't spend your money now, because next week or in 10 days, we're going to have these instant savings. And I said, well, tell me more. Tell me more, Sam's Club. And I looked, and I see pages of stuff, see? And I say, well, how much does that cost? Well, $50 off. How much does that cost? $50 off. Whoa, $200 off, $300 off. And I said, well, and then I had to go looking in the fine print to find out how much it really costs. And everything in this entire catalog is basically, they don't tell you how much you're going to spend. They tell you basically how much you're going to save. You're going to save. And that brought back to mind my good old father, who was a real pragmatist, my old man. I used to come back as a young man, and bought something and it was on sale. And I would say, Dad, look what I got. And he would say, well, how much was it? Well, it doesn't matter, Dad. I saved $20. And he would look at me and he'd say, oh, that's great, Mitch. What do you plan to do with that $20 that you saved? And that's when I learned the lesson about marketing, is that people are so easily swayed by this discount and savings that they forget that what they're actually doing is spending money, not saving money. Because the essence of saving money is you still got the money. You can't buy something for $1,000 and save $300 and make a net profit of $300 on the deal. You spend $700, which is what you probably could have paid for it anyway. And throughout my life, I've watched every season, every store, 50% off sale. Every jewelry store on the planet's got a 50% off sale all year round. Every health spa that's selling memberships has a sign up that says final 7 days for the same deal we've had for the last 20 years. And people keep falling for it. They don't think about it the way it is. And here I get an entire catalog full of opportunities for me to save money. Well, you know, maybe it took me this long in life to finally realize that the only way I'm going to actually save any money is just not spend anything and not buy any of that crap. So, thank you, Sam's Club. That was as valuable as the 5 emails you send me every day. And a little warning to my friends. It's sleight of hand. And then while there may be some good deals out there to be had, don't fall for the fact that you get an entire catalog of things that tell you can save $1.50 or $2. That's just my little holiday advice. So far this holiday season, I have managed to not buy anything, although I'll probably fall for that as well if I see that they have some real loss leaders, and they're out there. So if you find one of them, yeah, and you need it, and you're going to buy it anyway, this is the time to do it. Don't let me put the kibosh on the entire holiday. And then, just like my daughter, who buys me T-shirts every Christmas. She called up this year and asked me, are you still the same size, Mitch? I said, yeah, I'm pretty much. Well, I didn't know because of the stroke, but I said, well, you know, I've still got clothes that you bought me last year that I haven't worn yet because I wear T-shirts and these shorts every day or sweatpants. Don't buy me anything this year. And she was disappointed, and she said, no, that's when I have fun. I said, okay, go have fun. So we'll see. Maybe I'll get some new T-shirts with funny sayings this year. Well, we had a really fun little live stream last night. Wasn't very well. It was a private community live stream on Tuesday night, and it started at 8 o'clock. And we had, I guess the normal crowd was there, but those things, YouTube does not tell me how many people are online like they do on the morning live streams. When it's private, it always says number of viewers 0. So I have no idea. I saw the chat. Most of our friends were there in the chat last night, but we had a good time. Only had Lewis come in to save me because nobody came into the panel. And then I found out that Russ, what's his channel name? Buckeye something, I don't know. At any rate, it was on Rick's channel. So I was doing a live stream at 8:30. And something that I later find out that I wasn't aware of that he does and been doing for 3 years. So next Tuesday night, for your private community members, we're going to start at 7:30 instead of 8. And then we kind of kept track of his live stream in our live stream. And I had his live stream playing on one monitor. And we ended the private community live stream at 9 o'clock, and then we all went over and hopped on to Russ's, which was kind of cool. So we kind of invaded Russ's live stream. I was on there for 15 minutes on his panel, and Lewis went over, and Thomas went back over, and and it was kind of fun. So I think we'll do that. I think we'll do that next week too. Thursday night, Thanksgiving night, of course, no live stream, but I'm going to be out at the park with my son, and generally like to pop up whenever the opportunity presents itself, so you can see some of the pretty park and the deer to come right up to you and everything else. And so look out for me tomorrow, sometime during the afternoon, from Moss Park in Orlando. Mark C., thank you so much. Sent 5 Old Guy Carnivore gift memberships. Thank you. And who was the lucky recipients? Let me see here. I have to read them, and they're green now. Thanking myself, received a gift membership. A1CTO5, whatever that means. And Mandy Beddoes, welcome to the private community. And Coljoe, COLJOE, received a gift membership. And who else? @JF, these cryptic names. Welcome, and thank you, Mark. Thank you. You know, it's always appreciated, and you alone seem to keep feeding new members to that private community, which I would hope would grow, because we do have a good time. We have a great time in our private live streams. So, nothing snobby about it. Just we can really, we don't have to be careful about what we say. We don't have to worry about what trolls may be listening. It's kind of, if I had hair, I would say it's time to let your hair down, but that's a moot point with me. Okay, let me say, I don't think I have any more announcements, other than I will be back Friday morning, 9 a.m. for the morning coffee, and we'll see what happens. To Mary M., checked in yesterday, and Lady June from England, and Janice Rosebrook. Welcome, Janice. I don't recognize you, at least maybe not by that name. And Tuka chimed in. Good to see you. And right last night, Thomas re-upped his membership in a private community right at the end of the stream and popped into the chat just as I was saying goodbye, and then we all went over to Russ's. But thank you, Thomas. Appreciate that, and glad to have you in it. Who is this? Wayne Herman. Hi, Wayne. How you doing? See you in the morning. And Jem gave me a compliment on my video yesterday. Mitch, your walk and talk. So proud of you, my friend. Hope to see you in the morning. Well, let's see you. We'll see if you're here this morning. She also says, Happy Thanksgiving Eve. And that came in at 11:26 p.m. last night. Who else have we got? Lizzie. Lizzie chimed in the middle of the night at 3:09 a.m. Hi, Lizzie. Mike Seeley from Tampa chimed in. And, oh, God, reading these green letters. I wish they wouldn't do that against a dark background. Sandy Blythe chimed in and said, Good morning, Mitch. Mike Seeley from Tampa, good morning to you. Lady June back with us this morning. And Terry P. Hiya, Terry. Good to see you. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Francine Bourgeois from Montreal. Hi, Francine. Good morning to you. Thomas. Thomas is here. How you doing, Thomas? Good to see you. And Rick. Hey, Rick. How you doing? Good morning. What time did you guys wrap up last night? Michael Payne, how you doing, Michael? Good to see you this morning. Lucy Work is here. Patty's Garden is here. Lori, good morning, Lori Whitesell. Peter, how you feeling? You feeling any better this morning? Let us know. We're all thinking about you. Just have to ask. See that? I'm feeling a little better today. The antibiotic is really helping me. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that, Peter. And Lambs is here. Hiya, Lambs. Good morning to you. Rick says good morning again. Okay. Jonesify. I guess that's how you pronounce that. Good morning, y'all. Good morning back at you. I'll drink to that. Edward Renner's here. Hi, Edward Renner. Donna Ray, good morning to you. And who was the first one in this morning? Oh, I missed it. I went right over it. Of course it was. Lambs was the winner at 9 o'clock, and followed by all these people were on the ball. Bacon Runner, 9 o'clock. Loretta, hi Loretta, good to see you. Patty's Garden and Rex Ford. Hi Rex, how are you? Michael Payne, Michael, good to see you. 22-pound turkey, that's a big turkey. John Together Strong. Put some dashes in there. Much easier to read that way. Good morning to you, and Brandish is here. Hi Brandish. DS111 with a wisecrack. How you doing? OldGuyCarnivore live streams is the oldest thing I do. I look forward to your wisecracking, my friend. I always take it in the way it was intended. At least I try to. Marla Kelly, hiya Marla. Good morning to you, and who else? I am not leaving home. Yeah, Rick, you and the ducks and the iguanas will give thanks. Any ducks that were still alive and iguanas to give thanks have a reason to give thanks. The rest of them, they were tasty. Good morning, Lewis. Lewis, just stopping in for a little while. I have a meeting at 9:30. Well, thank you if you're still here for helping me out last night. You made a great co-host, and I think we had a pretty good little conversation, and it was a nice stream. And then it was nice to jump over to Russ's. I like Russ. I met Russ down in Sarasota. We sat and talked for a little while out there by the bay on Kilter's backyard. It was very nice. Very nice. Jerry Hall, good morning to you. Well, we got, 72 people? 74? Not bad. Not bad. Not bad for an early start to this. Who was that? Jerry Hall and B-Matt. Hey, Brian, happy Thanksgiving to you. I was talking about the sales. Rick says the only thing that he will buy is food unless something breaks. Well, I don't think they have Black Friday at the flea market. Well, maybe they do, but or at the dump. But I'm not surprised to hear that, Rick. You're probably one of the most frugal people I've ever met in my life. And you remind me of my father. My father, probably because he lived through the Depression and remembered that was, you couldn't get him to part with money. He drove cars until the wheels fell off of them. He was Earl Scheib's. If any of you remember Earl Scheib's paint job, they advertised for cars, $69.95 Earl Scheib, he would drive a car until it was more Bondo and filler than it was actual metal. And when the doors fell off, he'd finally buy a new one. He had golf clubs that were older than him, and he would refuse to buy new. I mean, and golf was his life, so that's the kind of person my father was. I'm exactly the opposite. I take after my mother. And Donna Ray says, I didn't get my new Sam's Club flyer yet. Well, yeah, because they sent it out in advance. It doesn't even take effect until December 3rd. But I think maybe people aren't going to notice that because the only place that says it is on the cover, up at the top. And they'll be hunting for those things on the website. And I think if in that respect, sending it out early maybe has the effect of driving people to the website. But yet saving the purchases if they can't entice people to spend all their money before next week. I don't know. They're not stupid, those people. They all hired the best psychologists and marketing minds to figure out sneakier and sneakier ways to get you to buy more and buy more often. Thinking for myself. I'm looking for a cheap freezer for my beef. Third quarter of 2026, beef is supposed to skyrocket. Well, once again, it's all propaganda. Nothing is supposed to do anything. If somebody tells you that the prices are supposed to go up, it's because those are the people that are manipulating or feeding you propaganda so that you'll buy more now. Nobody knows what's going to happen in the third quarter of 2026. I got news for you. Nobody has a clue. They don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow. Everybody says they can predict what the markets are going and which stocks are going. It's all propaganda. It's designed to motivate people to buy now. Now, will prices go up in 2026? More than likely. On the other hand, everything that you've ever heard that is guaranteed to happen in the future doesn't happen. In fact, there's a method of investing called being a contrarian. And the mass psychology says when everybody is certain of an outcome, do just the opposite. When everybody is certain that interest rates are going to go up, that's the time to fade that and bet on them going down. When everybody knows, that's when you can be assured that it's wrong. And there's no better example of that than in our nutritional advice, because everybody knows. Whole grains are good and meat is bad. And the real truth is not there. Now, the psychology of investing, you have to say to yourself, well, is the smart play to be smarter than everybody, or is a smart play to go along with everybody because they're the ones that are moving the market? So you got to be very careful if you're trying to pick the top of anything because of contrarians. But the contrarians seem to always do very well. And you can guess what I am. I've always been a contrarian. Always been a contrarian. Has it bode well for me? No. Sometimes I underestimated the actual stupidity of everybody else and got slaughtered by the mob running in the wrong direction. So you got to be careful using that. Dan, oh man, it's so hard to read these names. Dan Galasso, wow, no spaces in them, no nothing. Happy Carnivore Thanksgiving all. Oh no, lost my job on Friday. Massive cuts across across the board at my place, but I'm keeping my chin up, eat meat. Ah, sorry to hear that, Dan. Yeah, sorry to hear that. Good luck in your efforts to find a new job. And Keto Rock Stars, good morning. Good morning. How you doing? Put some QQQs in there if you have something you want to talk about. I don't have any particular agenda for this morning. I probably will film it today. I took some baby back ribs that I bought at Sam's Club last year or earlier this year, and they've been in my freezer outside. And I took them out with the idea of, because of the big basket, the big wide basket in that Typhoon Dome 2 air fryer, I want to find a way to make acceptable baby back ribs. And of course, acceptable to us carnivores doesn't mean slathered with all kinds of rubs and sauces and sugar and everything else. It means a way to get them with a nice texture to them. Basically, I like them almost falling off the bone, but not quite. Jerry Hall, little super chat there. Thank you so much, Jerry. Says, Mitch, stay home and be safe from all the crazies on Black Friday. Oh, you know it. You know it. There's a couple of days I don't venture out, and especially since my stroke, I'm not venturing out. But the 2 days of the year that I consider to be amateur hour are Black Friday and New Year's Eve. And I hide away. And not only do I hide away, but I have to fight the urge to actually crawl under my bed, because that's how crazy things get. And I've seen these mobs at some of these, especially places like Best Buy, where they camp out for days, lining up at the front door. And they run over each other to spend money. To spend money all the time, thinking about not how much they're going to spend, but how much they're going to save. Human nature. Question, says Richard Williams, why are all the names starting with an @ now? The reason is that YouTube is now using your official channel, your official login name, your channel name, and they all begin with that. Like, I'm at OldGuyCarnivore, and everybody else is now at somewhere. But, you know, it's nice to know that we're not nowhere. We're all at somewhere. So that's why I believe why they started doing that. All that's done is make it very, very confusing for me. Let's see, 9:06. Well, good. I'm sneaking up on a half an hour behind in that chat. So I guess I need to start going faster. See what you're all talking about. Michael Payne says, question, have you been resistance training? Mildly. I've been doing the resistance bands for as much as you can do with those things. Started walking, and, you know, I managed to break a mile yesterday, which was a real achievement. I'm going to take the day off from walking because tomorrow I'm going to be walking probably all day out there at the park, and I want to give myself 1 day to recover from what I did yesterday. But I intend, call it New Year's resolution, but it's going to start after the holidays, to at least 3 mornings a week to make my way to the community gym that we have up here. It involves walking from the parking lot and all the way around the pool to get to the... So it's not that it's that far, but I'm going to do it without, I want to do it without a walker or a cane or anything. And then go in and start doing some of the machines and maybe dumbbells, and start doing shoulder work and chest, bench press type things, shoulder type over the shoulder type exercises, and start to get back some of my upper body strength. And they have stationary bicycles in there. I don't think I want to do the treadmill, but the stationary bicycle I think might be a great aerobic thing for me to do. But no, I need to start. You're absolutely right. I need to start back with the resistance training to offset some of the sarcopenia and the muscle that I've lost from most of this year's inactivity. Knock on wood, I'm not in bad shape. I'm actually feeling pretty good, and my strength is coming back, and so is my coordination in my right hand. It still feels stiff. Whoa, what is that? Somebody at my door. Oh, that's probably my neighbor. Let me take a look and make sure. I have that wind chimes sound effect if there's motion at my front door. Let me see who's there. Excuse me a second. I'm gonna talk to him. Thank you, Roger. Hey, Roger.
How are you?
Good, good. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Okay, buddy. Have a good one. Ring doorbells are great. That's my next door neighbor. He's been so nice. He brings up my trash can for me. And unfortunately, where I have to park my car in my driveway, it's right up near the steps, and I can't. So you have to push the trash can out onto the grass and wheel it down that way. So he's been very nice and very helpful since I've had my stroke. Brings my mail up for me, although more and more lately I've been going to get it myself. So where was I? I was talking about going to the gym. Yep, I'm going to do it, and I'll try to document a little of it. Maybe I'll set up a camera in there one day and show you how an old fart stroke victim tries to compete in the Mr. Universe contest. I don't know, am I being silly about it or not, but I just feel like I got to be doing something. I can't just stop and let, the rest of life just roll over me, because it won't last that long. I've seen too many people when they get old retire and basically accelerate the time to their death just out of sheer lack of purpose and boredom. So I'm not ready to go yet. Sometimes I wonder why I even want to stay around looking at this world, but I'm not ready to go yet, so I'm fighting for it. And I appreciate this. I really appreciate the support of everybody, all you guys. And the comments on my video yesterday were so heartwarming. So heartwarming. I feel like I got cheerleaders. That means a lot, and it's probably the main reason I keep doing this, because I can't think of too many other reasons to keep doing this. Maybe helping some people if they can be helped at all. But just knowing I have people cheering for me means a lot. My daughter put a comment on that video last night, and that was so good to see. So good to see. All right, here's where Mark C. gifted the 5 memberships, and I am so far behind. So let me take a look at we have Juliet here. Hiya, Juliet. How you doing? And Tanya says, have a wonderful day, Mitch Fitz. Evidently, she's got to get on. Old Roadie, you made me step on my walking game. Good, good. I don't mean to be a taskmaster, but like I said in that video, if this old fart can do it, you can do it too. Other than that, I'm not really much of a rah-rah kind of person. I would make a terrible physical trainer or a cheerleader. Jem says, got to go. Okay, Jem, you have a good day. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Tanya's got to go to work. DS111 says, I'm going to call 78 people. Yeah, it seems that way. How about that? Donna Ray says, I have a total gym and use it, but am very more motivated to run. That's something I never could do. I had bad knees and a bad back. And anytime I tried to run, it was incredibly painful. I always had to do exercise like swimming or biking or walking. And I just never developed either the joints or the muscles to be a long-distance runner. Never in my life. Even when I was in the Army, when I was 19 years old in basic training, and everybody had to go out and run, it killed me. It killed me. My knees have been bad that long. I'm always going to the infirmary. And of course, my drill sergeants were especially tough on me because they thought I was slacking. And I wasn't slacking. It was incredibly painful for me to run. You were all talking about the mob scene out there on Black Friday. Yeah, it is horrible. Let me see if anybody put some QQQs in here. Look through it real quick. You can watch it as I scroll through the chat. Don't see any QQQs. That's where Mark C. bought the 5 memberships. Thank you, Mark. Rockin' Coach Amy. Homesick Buckeye. That's right. That's the name of his channel. Homesick Buckeye. Russ. There's too many channels, so I wish I could keep up with everybody. But Russ is a cool guy. He's just a good guy. He's very entertaining. And I didn't know, because I certainly don't seek out more live streams to watch, that he had this thing Tuesday night. And I don't mean to horn in on this thing, but with the private community, you really can't horn in on too many people because it's not public and nobody gets it in their feed except the private community members. But I'm happy to move my time around a little, not because of the competition. I'm not worried about that. Not on a private community stream. On a private community stream, there are so few views on it. I think I get 60, 70, 80 views on those things in total. There's not monetized. There's no advertising. I would not run advertising on a private stream. So as far as the attendance, the only thing I'm concerned about is we have enough people so we can have a good time. But I don't want too many people either. So that's why it's like a private party. So I'm not concerned about who. With Curry, I moved it to 8 o'clock just because I think a lot of people follow Curry and want to watch his stuff. I was told differently by members of my community that we don't care about Curry. But I think making it a little later, from 7 to 8 o'clock, is going to be helpful to those people who live out west to here. Because instead of starting at 4 o'clock in the afternoon for people on the West Coast, it's 5 o'clock, which is maybe a little better. But I'm going to move it to 7:30 on Tuesday night, and then maybe at least me, when my stream ends at 9, I'll jump over and hop on to Russ's stream. All the same people are in the chat. In fact, I noticed something funny last night, is all you guys in the private community were in both chats at the same time. I had them up here on my screen. I was watching. Somebody would say something in my chat, and then they'd say something in the other chat. So everybody's got either two cell phones or a cell phone and a computer, or two different devices, or a computer with multiple windows open, like I have. Watching two streams at once, I guess that's common. When one live stream at a time just isn't enough. That'd be a great software pitch to come up with a way to watch 5 live streams at the same time, like the red zone in the sports, where they're following 16 football games at the same time and keep jumping to where the action is. Have we really gotten to that point? Have we really gotten to that point? Makes you want to go, Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Questions. Oh, I'm all the way back to 8:07. Chat's not all that busy today. Wow, look at that. Tammy, hi, Tammy, how you doing? Says Mitch, that's crazy. I was telling you about the ribs. Yeah, so this morning, speaking of cooking, I must have got sidetracked. How could that happen? I took these 2 racks of ribs, and the Sam's Club ribs, the baby back ribs, are like this thick. They got so much meat on top that it's not like a traditional rib. It's like a meal. It's incredible how much these things weigh. Now, you can do a couple of things, and I've done it in the past, is sometimes I trim all that meat, or most of that meat off the top, and grind it up and make ground pork out of it, and make pork burgers or meatloaf or something like that. But I'm going to leave it on, so I cut it up into 6, what are meal size, maybe 4 or 5 ribs per piece. Each one of the 2 racks, I cut thirds. Of course, that wasn't all that accurate. Some of them were bigger than others, but I have a choice when I'm hungry. I took one of them, stuck it on a plate, the biggest one, put a little smoked salt on it and threw it in the fridge, and I'll cook it later today. When I try to calculate and figure out, using that Typhord Dome 2 air fryer with the big basket, which would be perfect for cooking a fairly good-sized hunk of ribs, the best setting, and whether I want to use some kind of a Bluetooth thermometer in it, although you can't really overcook ribs. You want it to be up around 200 plus degrees when you take them off, if they're going to be anywhere near fall off the bone. But I want to come up with a way to take just raw defrosted ribs, throw them in that thing, push a button, and have them come out wonderful, ready to eat. Because in that way, you can pre-cut them up and have them either refreeze them in one meal size packages, or just leave them in the fridge for a week and just eat them for a while. I saw, the reason I'm doing this with the pork is I saw a video talking about, was it thiamine? Vitamin B1. I think Ken Berry put it out, and it was very persuasive. And one of the things, it was the deficiency in vitamin B1 manifests itself as neuropathy, where you have numbness, maybe a little tingling, could have pain from it. It's what many diabetics suffer from, neuropathy. Well, that's what my stroke did to me. I didn't never had it before, so it wasn't something caused by a disease or something, but it's a nerve conduction issue. And although I don't get tingling, I don't get pain, I do get some numbness in my right, comes and goes in my right foot. And I thought, well, maybe having a little more thiamine, a little more vitamin B1 in my diet might help. And one of the foods highest in vitamin B1 is pork. So I said, well, I like ribs and bacon and things like that. Why don't I maybe up my game a little bit and see if it actually helps? Because I don't want to take another supplement. I don't want to live out of pill bottles, but I'm going to change. I'm going to start to eat pork a couple more times a week and see if that helps. I had a little experiment. So I had these ribs that have been sitting out there in the freezer, and I said, well, maybe this would be a great thing to play with to up my thiamine a little bit and see if it makes me have a little less numbness in my feet. Now, I have no edema, no swelling whatsoever, none of the other. It's just this is what happened. When I had the stroke, I had almost no feeling at all in my right arm and my right leg. I still get a little bit of it in my hand. I still get stiffness when I move my arm out like this. I can feel, and my hands even, it feels stiff. I have no restriction in movement, no pain, but it just feels stiff, whereas just saying you feel nothing. And that's recovering a little bit, but I'm going to give it a try, let you know how it works out. But if I'm going to learn how to make tasty ribs in this air fryer with no work and quick and easy, I think that's something people would like to see. And I haven't made a cooking video in a while, so I'm going to do that today. I don't know when I'll get it out, probably after Thanksgiving, maybe over the weekend, but maybe it'll flop and I won't put it out at all if it comes out bad. But my ideas usually work out pretty good, so we will see. Rick was there last night with Russ. He says, we were happy to have you join, Mitch. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. That was something I very rarely do, Rick. You know, I come into your stream once in a blue moon, or you come into my stream. But I don't, nothing against anybody else, but it's just not, I don't chat. I don't type in chats. I hate typing. I usually might come in and say, hi all. And if somebody says something especially nice to me, like Sandy Blythe did last night in that chat, I said, thanks, Sandy. But I just don't do it. Loretta says, question. Let me get down to the bottom so I can put that on the screen here. Excuse me while I scroll. You don't see me scrolling because I'm scrolling in the other chat. Question. Do you have to wrap your ribs in paper or foil for it? No, not at all. The most important thing is going to be time and temperature. If you cook it at a higher temperature, of course, the outside will cook more faster than the inside. If you cook it at low temperature, then the whole thing cooks evenly, which is how most ribs are smoked or cooked, to make sure they get to fall off the bone. So I'm going to have to experiment with a balance of, I don't want to cook it all day, but I don't want it raw inside either. And how much I want the actual outside to be caramelized, you know, and cooked like you would sear a steak. So it's possible that I'll, and I'm going to do some reading and see what other people recommend, but it's possible I'm going to do a deal where you cook it at this temperature for an hour, and then you raise the temperature to some ridiculous amount and cook it for 5 minutes to do the outside. And maybe I can actually come up with, there should be a way to come up with excellent ribs, good texture, good taste, good flavor, with only salt, and done in the air fryer, because what an air fryer is basically a convection oven. It cooks with hot air instead of direct heat. Although this particular air fryer has two heating elements, one above and one below. So I'm going to see if I can really take advantage of that. Thinking for myself says, do you dry brine the ribs too? I'm going to dry brine them for a few hours, maybe 3-4 hours in the fridge with some sea salt on them. But yeah, I got them in there. I didn't do it pretty much to dry brine them, but it couldn't hurt. It couldn't hurt to put them in the fridge until I'm ready to cook them, because I have a big Tupperware thing, and I managed to fit all the other 5 little mini racks of ribs into it, and I had the one left over that I was going to cook today. So instead of wrapping it up or anything, I just basically said, well, I'll dry brine it for a few hours. Maybe that'll help. And that's in the refrigerator on a plate. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, question. Oh, I got that one already. Do you have to wrap your ribs in paper? No. No, I wouldn't wrap anything. That you're defeating the purpose of air frying. Air frying is using hot air to cook. Not so much the surrounding temperature, but the actual hot air. And sometimes I see people pushing the using the parchment paper underneath. But even if it has holes in it, I still think that disrupts the airflow, and you want that air flowing around it. That's why in an air fryer, unless you're cooking a steak or something that you need to sear, you always have it in a basket or something with holes in the bottom so the air can circulate all around it. Thomas says, my neuropathy is much better now. The other day, I felt a tickling sensation in the bottom of my right foot. Well, you might want to, Thomas, you might want to think about that, whether you're getting enough B1, if Ken Berry's got anything there, and I have no reason to believe. Tammy says, Ken Berry did put it out. I bought pork chops and maybe. Yeah, great minds think alike, Tammy. Plus the fact that with beef prices the way they are, any excuse to say, yeah, oh, I need to eat more of the cheaper meat and less of the expensive meat. Yeah, anything that makes you feel like you got a real benefit in that just makes the whole thing a lot more fun, don't you think? So I've been eating more chicken lately too. I've been buying these chickens, even if they have some garbage in them. I've been buying them from Sam's Club for $5. This big ass chicken, 4 meals, 3-4 meals from it. They're tasty as hell, and they deliver them with the Sam's Club order. And I've been getting, maybe once a week, I've been getting one of those. And today, or tomorrow, rather, I'll do it tomorrow, I got an actual whole little raw chicken, and I'm going to cook it in that new type of air fryer that's, as the program designed, to roast the chicken and have it come out. We're going to try that out too. I don't want to eat too much chicken, but God, at $1 a pound, $1.25 a pound, chicken thighs are getting much more attractive to me. And pork ribs, I guess 6-7 pounds of ribs for $20. Tons of meat. I love them. They're very tasty. My problem is I got all this stuff lined up to eat. I don't eat that much. I don't eat that much. And tomorrow, I'm going out and having Thanksgiving dinner in the woods. So, what a problem to have. Too much variety. for a change on carnivore. That I'm not used to that. I am simply not used to that. Loretta said, I had neuropathy until I removed gluten from my diet. Removing plants, you better. Yeah, all that stuff. And there can be a lot of causes. But the one cause that Ken Berry pointed out was that nerve conduction is reliant on this vitamin B1. So no matter what the other causes of neuropathy might be, you can have every one of your numbers perfectly well. You could be like me, a complete non-diabetic or with any other conditions that generally can cause neuropathy, and still. And another symptom of a B1 deficiency is lack of balance, which makes sense because balance is so nerve signaling intensive, having to send a signal in thousands of times a second to a muscle to keep you balanced, that neuropathy can affect balance. And when I heard him say those two things, I had seen that before, but it never really sunk in. I said, maybe the B1, the thiamine, might fix a lot of these stroke-related type of symptoms. And I said, what's the cure? And the answer was, eat more ribs and bacon. I said, I could do that. I could do that. I like that. That's a good cure. And I'm going to give it a little try. I always look to the food first for the nutrients I need, and the supplements when there's really no other thing. And the only supplements I've ever caved on have been the leucine and the creatine, to try to build back muscle that I lost a little more rapidly. But other than that, and electrolytes and iodine in my coffee, I want to find a nutritional solution to these things. I think that, of course, I like tasty food. I like tasty animal. You know, PETA, the word is PETA, my son's acronym PETA means people eating tasty animals. I like that one better. I'm sure there's a t-shirt out there that says that. Anyway, it's coming up on 10 o'clock, my friends. I want to thank you. John Beatty. Hi, John. How are you? Not Bob Beatty. Shame on me. I called him Bob the other day, and I didn't mean that. John Beatty. It used to be John Beatty Art, but you two took the art away. Now it's just John, plain old John Beatty. Question, any clean B1 supplements? Well, you know, I went looking at the B1 supplements, and nothing that comes in a capsule or a pill is without some kind of filler. If it's in a gelatin capsule, what do they make that out of? Whether that makes that much of a difference or not, I don't think it's that big a problem. But I went looking for it. But I don't think, you don't need that much B1. And we can store about 10 days worth of it in our bodies. And I think just making sure you eat some food that's got a decent amount of B1 in it. And you can put, I haven't watched it yet, but he put out a kind of a companion video to his last one that said, the 7 foods that contain the most vitamin B1. I try not to worry about all these different things and levels and numbers, but if I've got a particular symptom that falls in line with a deficiency in, I'm going to check it out. I'm going to check it out. I'm not just going to ignore it. So most of what I'm changing now is because of some result from the stroke. I was doing fine before I was having any of these problems. But I have to do what I have to do. I have to take care of the sarcopenia, the losing muscle from inactivity. I have to take care of this little bit of neuropathy that I have, which happened when I had my stroke. And, you know, I'll of course share, I'll share that all with you as I go. Well, listen, my friends, I'm going to try to stick to my word and get out of here at 10 o'clock. And I will see you. Let me a little happy music for you. And you can start saying goodbye in the chat. Thank you all for coming this morning on this day before Thanksgiving. It was a very relaxing stream. I enjoyed it. I like this. I'm reading some chats. DS111 says, have you ever had dry skin? Yes, 2 weeks ago, I basically got some, what is this? Let me see. Where is it? 2 weeks ago, I basically got sunburn on my forehead from cooking. And when removing the cover on the pan, oh, have you ever had dry skin? Wow. I occasionally have some dry skin. I used to have dry skin, and I still have it occasionally right up here on my forehead. My dermatologist prescribed some cream a long time ago, and if it really, and my feet sometimes are dry. I haven't done it yet, but everybody keeps saying to use tallow. So I'm going to start trying to use tallow. Kelsey had a guest yesterday that talked about this tallow twins. These gals that make this different tallow creams. And I've heard from so many people, and that's the way they used to make soap. All that stuff was made out of animal fat. They used to send the horses to the soap factory. It's the best thing. It's the best thing for your skin. So I would, if you have dry skin, I don't want to get into it this late in the stream, but I would take a look at maybe trying tallow, and I may start trying to use just tallow up here. God, it's not hard to find. That's for sure. Every time I cook burgers. John Beatty says, the art is not part of my name, it's my profession. So I don't mind. But okay, John, yeah, I understand. I understand. I imagine it's still in your channel name, though. It's just not showing up in the chats. Well, everybody said goodbye and is starting to head for the doors because the credits are playing. So my friends, the happiest of Thanksgiving to you. I'll see you tomorrow from out in the woods, and bring a little nature along with me. I will see you again Friday morning. I'll see you Friday morning at 9 o'clock and tell you all about it. My phone's going off with exciting Black Friday opportunities from everybody in the planet wants me to buy this and that, telling me how much I'm going to save. Especially software companies. Wow, it's crazy. This one I just got told me I could save 75%. I turn around and look at that kind of thing and I say, so what you're telling me basically is that your product is only worth 25% of what you would normally charge me for it. That sounds pretty worthless to me. So, because you know, if the people were clamoring to buy what they had, they wouldn't be lowering the price by 75%. Secondly, software is an amazing business. There are very few things in life that you can sell yet still have. In other words, if they sold 1,000 software packages today, they would not have reduced inventory at all. They can sell. There is no tangible thing. It's like a movie or a song. You can't run out of it. So they can afford, I guess, to have the biggest sales because they don't have they've already paid to produce it. And so if they can only recoup 25% for a while, get more people to buy it, I can understand that. But that also, the market also determines what your product is worth. Like tickets to a Taylor Swift concert, which is something I never could understand. Anyway, my friends, thanks for coming. Happy Thanksgiving. Watch out for the hidden traps. Take your blinders with you to dinner. If you're one of these people that just can't avoid the crap, my recommendation would be, the hell with the dinner, stuff yourself, and then go to the dinner. Make sure you don't go to the dinner hungry. Right along with the rule of don't ever go to the supermarket when you're hungry. That's wise advice. I learned that a long time ago. And I will see you Friday morning. So take the rest of the day off and eat meat.